Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Betty, owner and creator of Betty's Custom Designs here on YouTube, Etsy, Facebook, and Instagram. And today I finished up, or for the most part, I finished a digital paper collection. And so what I need to do is make some ephemera to go with it. So it's more of just like, it's not, maybe it's like a design with me. It's definitely not a tutorial type thing because it's pretty much stuff I've already showed you guys. But I figured I would just bring you guys along as I do it. I just got home from work not too long ago, but I went by and got my dogs, or a couple of the dogs, some new beds, and got all kinds of new stuff for the dogs because they're spoiled. And so I've been outside dealing with that. But now I just need to get some stuff done that I need to do. I have some designs here that I drew that I just need to pull the background out of them and save them so that I can use them for my clipping mask. Hopefully that works. I think I've already done that background out of this one, maybe. You know what? If I'm not mistaken, it removed part of the, yeah, that's what I thought on that one. So we're going to delete that. And let's export this page as a PNG with a transparent background. Okay. Now let's go here and let's see if that worked. And it looks like it did. Okay, so I don't really want these two pockets right now. And again, like I've said before, I could just crop and get them out. But I'm lazy. And so I'm just going to do it like this. And I'm just going to erase those two envelopes. And I've done them purple. I filled the color in with purple so that whenever I've done the background remover, Canva would recognize, you know, the black even as part of the background. So I'm just going to do my envelope. This is a little pocket actually, and you will see once I get it a little better. Okay, so I am going to fill this back in with white. Okay, and so that way, with me having done it in the purple, Canva recognized all of that. And then now that I have it in the white, it'll be easy to do my, my clipping. So let's just see. And again, these are some of the pages that I just created. We're going to clip it down and we're going to say multiply so that we get those, so we get the fold lines in there. Okay. And let's see, let's go back. Actually, let's pull in, let me go to a different, screen because apparently I need to color in all of my, envelopes that I have done, or not envelopes, pockets, what have you, because Canva does not see them as having the background. Why is this doing this? Yeah, it's been a crazy day. So we are still in hurricane prep mode. As of right now, it is a tropical depression, but when you look at the forecast and the cone of uncertainty, number one, we are head on with the crazy thing. It's like beaming down, headed straight for us. And they are expecting it to be a tropical storm when it hits us. Which normally it's not that big of a deal. My only concern is it looks like we are going to be on the right side of the storm, which is the bad side. And we are going to be right, if everything goes on the projected path like they are showing, we are going to be in the pretty bad part of it. It'll just mean that we have to pay attention to the weather and everything around us. Okay, and so as you can see, I'm just coloring these in. I may have already done these, as I think I did. Let me put a whole piece of my paper on here and clip it down and just see what it does, because it looks like it already has a transparent background. Oh. Okay, so it looks transparent. Let me color this white, and then we'll go from there. Because it needs something to bind down to, because as you've seen when I put that paper on, it only stuck to the black. Yeah, so apparently, well, no, that's what it was. Whenever I done it in Canva the first time, it didn't recognize all of it, so that's what it was. Okay, so that makes sense. Now I know why I thought I needed to do this. Let me go with a lighter color. It doesn't really matter. I just need a color so that Canva can recognize it. That's all I need to do, and I may have to go back and get the one that yeah. Let me just let me delete this one and let me pull the one up here. Which one is it? Well, I have a few, so let me do a couple of them. And so when you're doing stuff like this and you create your own images, you may have to fill it in like I'm doing and export it, and then remove the background from like using Canva or something. And it's just because the Canva has a hard time differentiating what is background and what is not when it is all white like that. So that's why I fill it in ahead of time, and Canva will then recognize just the purple as being my image, and so when I remove the background, it should do fine and remove everything that I need it to and leave the stuff that I want it to leave. Let me go ahead and do some of these because I created like file folder type things for it. I don't know that I'm going to use all of this for this particular kit, but while we're doing it, we'll go ahead and do some because I don't know what we're going to do on here today. So do you guys have plans for the weekend, big plans? What do y'all have going on? I don't really have much going on because it's, you know, we are in that wait and see. I believe the weather shows, I believe it said it will be like Sunday evening when it hits us. Sunday evening into Tuesday morning, I believe it said. So unless the governor issues an order to where we don't go into work, I will be driving in this mess Monday morning. And I am not excited about that. I don't like to drive in regular rain, let alone drive in tropical storm conditions or hurricane conditions. Yeah. Yeah, that's just not my cup of tea. But we'll just see what the weekend holds, and you know, it may fizzle out and not be anything, which would be perfectly fine by me. You will not hear any complaints whatsoever. All right, now this one may be a little difficult because when I was drawing it, I got it a little close there, but we're going to see. We're going to see if Canva can recognize it. If not, I'll just delete that one or erase it. Y'all know how I do. Yeah, these were fun. I drew these in GoodNotes, actually, and because GoodNotes has that feature where it keeps everything kind of straight for you, which is what I need because I cannot draw straight lines at all. And I know that I can't. So I used that feature to help me out. This is some layered tags that I was that I'm going to do. But I figured it would be fun. So that's what these are. I have to figure out exactly how I'm going to do them, but they were fun to draw. Now somebody did ask a question in the comments asking if I knew any free program that they could use to practice on. I am not sure. I know that you can use the free version of Canva, but if you're wanting to do stuff like Photoshop or Procreate, I'm not sure if there is something free out there. I will check into that so that I can get back with you and let you know an answer as to whether or not I have found anything that's free. And if I do find some sort of a free program like that, I will actually link it in the description box, so that way you guys will have that, because I know how Photoshop can be pretty expensive, especially since they don't have where you can just outright purchase it, which I do not like that. Because you have to either do the subscription or you can do a year. And that's just so aggravating to me because I don't like doing subscriptions. I do have a few things that I have a subscription for, but even those I try to pay. Like if they have a lifetime membership, I'll pay the lifetime membership just because I don't like doing the monthly subscription. Number one, I'm afraid that I'll forget that I need to pay that. So that's just the easiest thing for me to do. But it's just kind of crazy how they get you in a situation where you have to either fork out the money or you don't get to enjoy it. And I don't like that. So I will definitely check into that and see what I can find for you guys. And I'm almost done playing with this to where we can actually start doing something. But while I was doing it, I wanted to go ahead and get it done because I will forget. And you see where I made my notes to myself. I don't know how that's going to color in, but that'll work. Hopefully that'll work for Canva for when I go to take the background out. If not, I'll come back and delete the words out and then redo it. I always try to figure out different ways to do stuff without, if there's an easier way to do it or something like that, that's just what I try to do. I try to figure out my little shortcuts. And because I don't know all of the stuff that there is to know about Photoshop and how to do, and I am sure that there is a way that I could remove the background here on Photoshop. I know that there probably is. I just don't know it, and I'm not afraid to say that. I am still learning. So that's why until I know how to do it in Photoshop, I have to do it the way that I can. And this is how I do it. Some of you may be like, oh my God, it's so simple. And I am sure that it is. And one day I will get it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep doing it like this. Like I said, I just, you know, that's how I learn stuff is whenever I am designing or creating and I see something and I want to do it, I want to figure it out. And I may not figure it out the way that it's technically supposed to be done, but I guarantee you I will figure out a way to get it done. And that's what I've done. That's how I've taught myself Photoshop. I've heard a lot of you guys talk and, you know, about how several of you have said, you know, that you just can't do Photoshop. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I have only been working in Photoshop since March. And I will tell you that I was absolutely terrified of Photoshop before March. I refused to even really work with it because I was so afraid of it per se. But I got in there and I started working with it, and it really wasn't as bad as I thought it was. It was just, I had to realize that, you know, if I mess up, there is the little back button, and y'all know I love my back button. That's why I have a hard time like doing collage and stuff, because I don't have a back button and I have to actually make a decision and stick with it. And I'm not good with that. I like to, I don't know, y'all know me. Y'all should know me by now. Y'all know that I like to change my mind a lot. And what I done right there is, I don't know if you could see what I done. I kind of cropped around the image just to make it a little easier for whenever I go to remove the background. There's not as much background that it has to look at. I don't know if that helps it or not, but in my little mind, I think it does. So that's why I do it. And let me just go ahead and put my images, and then I'll come back and take the background out of all of them. So I'm just making my images, you know, as large as I can on the paper. This is what I'm talking about. See, I'm just cropping it down to where I'm as close to the image as I can be, so that when I go to do the background remover, it's not that bad. There's not a lot of background that's going to be left. So as you can see, that's all I'm doing. I'm just taking it down. I'm getting it as close to the finished product as I possibly can. And like I said, we're not going to use all of this tonight. I just figured, you know, if I'm already in Canva and I'm already working on it, I may as well do it all at one time. Because what I'll do is once I get it all done, I will export the files as a PNG with transparent background, and then I'll have it for whenever I want to do it again. I won't have to keep working with it. So you can see how it does have that white background on that. And that's okay, because we are going to be getting rid of that white background in just a few minutes. I know this seems like, wow, all she's doing is running her mouth and just not really doing much, but I promise there is an end. There is an end. I'm just trying to get it to where that was going to mess with my OCD, because I had it upside down, even though it don't make a difference. But for my OCD, it made a difference. And so I'm going to do this one down. This is the one that I don't know how it's going to do with that last pocket there, because I have it so close to the other one. But we will see. And then if it don't do right, we'll deal with it then. And this is a match by my attempt. I don't know how it's going to turn out, to be honest with you. That is my attempt at like a matchbox, little box actually. Maybe for like ephemera or something. I don't know. It was just my little feeble attempt. And we'll see how it does. We are almost done, guys, I promise. And then we will actually start clipping down and having some fun. I have to do this, or I can't. It would stress me. Yeah, it would just stress me knowing that I still had some that needed to be done. So that's why I just go ahead and get it done and over with. And this is an envelope. It's just a different envelope than, you know, the really fancy ones that I normally do. But it's still an envelope and it still works very well. And I'm not going to do that one because I've already removed the background, it looks like. Okay. So I could have started at the bottom since I was already there, but nope, that would be too easy. So I'm just going to go through, and I've already removed the background from that top one, if you remember. And so that's all I'm doing is just going through and removing the background from each image. And hopefully, because I've got it colored in purple, I am hoping that it will recognize the background in all of them. And so far, it's looking pretty good. The test will be when I save it and then open it back up in Photoshop. And then that's when we will know if it really worked or not. But I'm hoping that it did. Because I went through a lot. Y'all went through a lot with me watching me do this. So hopefully all of this works and I don't make a fool out of myself by getting on here telling you guys, oh, this is how you remove the background and do the layering. And yeah, but it would be, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if that happened, because that's just how things work sometimes. It makes a liar out of you. Technology does that. Shoot, kids do that. What are you talking about? I know my kids do anyway. Just sure as I say that they do something or they don't do something, they gonna go and do the absolute opposite and make it look like I was just telling a bald-faced lie. But all right, this is the one I was questioning. Let's see what it done. Okay, so far it looks okay, but the big test will be when I get it over into Photoshop to see if it recognized all of the background. And yeah, it's just, you know, I know I'm taking a long time getting these done, but for me, it's easier to do it all at one time. And I am going to be putting a gift basket together for a giveaway, because I did not do a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Poor Miss Kim is still waiting on her journal. I have it almost complete. There was just a few more things I wanted to do to it, and I forgot, to be honest. And so I've got to get that sent to her, so that I can show you guys the video of the journal that she won in our 500 subscriber giveaway. And then once we do, well, I mean, we don't have to wait for that to happen before we do the giveaway for the gift basket, but I will start putting the gift basket together, and then think about how we are going to give it away. And then as soon as I figure all of that out, then I will do a video, show you what or most of what's going to be in the basket. And then I'll do the instructions on how to enter that giveaway. So if any of you have any suggestions for what we need to do, that would be wonderful. I would appreciate any suggestions. Okay, now let's go back and let's just, since we're already on this one, let's pull in, we'll go to albums. Let's see, what do we want to do first? Let's do this. Now these here they're like an expandable folder. And let me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase one of them. I'm going to erase this one for right now. And that's because I want to concentrate on just the one. Okay. Now, did I get it all erased? I hope it saved it as a transparent background. It looks like it did. Okay, so let's get this and let's enlarge this a little bit. Now let's paint this, let's fill it in with white. Now let's now the only thing is this is going to be up. Let me do this so that you guys can see what I'm talking about, and then I'll erase it. This, I have it set to clear. Okay. This direction, look at this. It's one of them days. Okay, so guys, I'm really not this crazy. Well, maybe, but this is the up direction, and then this is up. So my papers, either I need to use a paper that I don't mind being upside down, or I need to do this side and then that side. So let's just see what papers we have that we can work with out of my newest kit that I just did. You know what? I can do that one for, let me see. I love this. It's got the pretty little butterflies on it. And so what I can do is, I'm just thinking, I'm going to get that right there on that line, and I like where that's at. So I'm going to clip that down. Oh, poo. I filled in the whole background. Or else it didn't do it as a transparent background. I can't tell. It doesn't look like it done it as transparent. Which one was that? Was this one? Let's go to background remover again. And then we'll save just this page. And we're going to do save as PNG, transparent background. Let's do save page 4. I don't know why it done that. Now let's delete that layer. I told y'all it would make a liar out of me. Now it looks like it's a transparent background. So I'm not going to erase. Let me just go ahead and fill in the white. And the reason I do the white is so that it's what I was afraid of. And I can't do the effects on here, I don't think. Wait a minute. What if we load a selection, add a new layer, and then let's fill that layer in with black. And deselect. I need to erase that one because it's just going to make it easier for me to work with how I'm gonna have to trick it. You've seen how, for whatever reason, even though I filled it in, Canva still didn't recognize some of the black. And so it had deleted some of the black, and that's the issue that I had. But I really want that black. So I'm trying to figure out how I can do it. Now let's see, Lotus selection, new layer. I'm gonna fill it in, deselect. Now when I'm working in the other stuff, I do the Gaussian blur, but I don't wanna do that. Let me see, if I take that black layer and I increase the size of it just slightly, and then put the purple layer on top of it. Let's see if I can get a black all the way around it. I may have to enlarge the black just a little bit more. Now this is the hard way to do this. Like I said, I am sure there are easier ways to do all of this. But I just don't know them right now. And so until I know them, this is how I have to do it. And I'm going to just see. I just want to move it. I don't want a whole lot of black around it. But I need a little more on the sides. We're going to go with that. Let me merge that down. And now I'm just, guys, y'all are gonna have to just stick with me and see how I do what I'm doing, because I'm just right now I am doing this on the fly. So I don't want that much of a border. Now it would have been easy to have just added a black border on this if I was on my Photoshop on my computer. But those effects, you saw me hit the buttons over there, those effects are not available on the iPad yet, which I think is crazy, because if you're charging me that subscription fee, then you need to have everything that I need. That's just my little 2 cents. Okay, so I am just making the black just a little thinner. And I probably could have went with a much smaller black background than what I did. But I wasn't sure exactly how much I needed. And I'll come back and do the fine tuning. And I'm just getting it thinner right there, because I really don't need much black at all. I need just enough so that somebody will know where to cut. And I do want it to look a little straight, which that's going to be the challenge for me. Because I don't, unless I took it into, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud and trying to figure out a way to do this without having to do all of this. So that's what I'm going to have to work on this evening. It may be in the next video for tomorrow. I don't know. Or actually for Saturday. Because this one's going up for tomorrow. This one will post at 7 in the morning. I'm trying to get back on that schedule. But I just got, whenever our AC went crazy, and then I got sick, and or I don't remember which was came first. but I got off my schedule, and so I'm trying to get back on that schedule. We're almost done with this, and it looks like we're only going to get this one done, if we can even get this one done with it going crazy like it did. So maybe I need to just figure out how to remove the background in in Photoshop. Maybe that's my homework, is figuring out how to remove backgrounds in Photoshop. Yep, I think that's what I'm gonna do tonight, because this is stressing me. This is just way too much work, and I know that there is probably some super simple way to do this. So, but I've already got it started now, and I am determined I am not going to stop until I get it done. And then I will figure out removing the background in in Photoshop. That will happen. Because I don't like not knowing. I want to know everything I possibly can about what I'm doing. Just trim around this just a little more, because I was a little cautious up here and left a little bit too much black. Okay, that don't look the greatest, but we'll see what it does. Maybe it don't look the worst either. And we'll just go back with that one. And let's just see what we can do. Oh, I forgot to color it white. Let me do that. Nope. Okay. Now let me get back on this, select it. Let me get it down a little bit lower. Right there, and then let's see what it does. Then let's see how it does when I do the... Okay, so it doesn't look bad. So it just took way too long for something that should have been a very simple process, but it is what it is. And I just turned that upside down. I'm gonna even it up right about there. And I can erase whatever I need to, and I'm gonna clip it down and then hit multiply. Okay. And so because I do have some of it that's over on this, I'm still on this layer. So I can just get my eraser and I can just erase right there up to the fold line. You don't really have to. There's not enough on here that you would even notice it. But because I do have the OCD, I have to. And the same thing with this one here. The top layer has a little bit on the bottom there. So I'm just going to erase it off of it just so that I know that I did. And you don't have to do this. If you don't mind your it being upside down on one side, by all means leave it. But it was one of those things where it would have stressed me, so that's why it's better for me to just go ahead and do it the way that I know that I've got it done, you know, to where it's one side's not upside down. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I am going to work on my homework and try to figure out how to do remove the background in Photoshop. Hopefully I can figure that out tonight, and if so, that is what we will work on for tomorrow. But in the meantime, I will just keep working on this because I can see that I don't have it even, and it's going to stress me. So that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thanks so much for watching and for sticking with me through all of my craziness. You guys are the absolute best. Y'all guys leave some of the sweetest comments, and y'all truly give me the big head, and just I cannot even tell you how you guys make me feel. I appreciate it. I really, really, really do. I know that there are so many other channels out there that are absolutely amazing that you could be watching, and hopefully you are watching them as well. But to know that you take time out of your day and out of your life to watch my channel means so much to me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you guys stay safe this evening, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys. All right, do we have it? Do we have it? Look, Echo. Echo, you're supposed to be looking at me. Look, we got a selfie stick. Echo. 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 Okay, yeah, you're doing what you were trained to do. Thank you for guarding, Mama. Echo. Echo. Look. Look. I want you up here. Look. Echo. Echo. I know you're guarding. Come here. Can you say hello? Can you say hello? Look at the video and say hello. Echo, where'd you go? Echo, you're not impressed. All right, well, we're about to go back in. Look, Echo. Come on, we were gonna send this to Daddy. Echo. Echo. Okay, just lay down.